Nah, gang. No. Rick Ross just completely crashed out on 50 Cent's mother, Sabrina Jackson, in the worst way during his TMZ interview yesterday. It got way out of hand, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't gonna lie. And TMZ is just as guilty as Rick Ross because they bring up some questions that they shouldn't have brought up, which now makes TMZ ops of 50 Cent. And I had no clue they was ops. I had no clue they was enemies. I had no clue they had a problem with 50 Cent. But this is getting very much out of hand. What are gonna be the repercussions of Rick Ross and TMZ doing what they just did in an interview segment about 50's late mother? Listen, gang, I need y'all to hit the like button and hit the hype button, cause we about to get deep. Got up on some ball shit and linked up with the man. Oh, champ. Run up these likes, and make sure you hit the hype button because it helps the channel in a major way. Listen, big shout out to Urban Politicians TV who produced this content, man. Look, this is getting very out of hand. Rick Ross yesterday does an interview with TMZ that gets way out of pocket when it comes to 50 Cent's mom, Sabrina. It's getting really nasty out here, ladies and gentlemen. Viewer discretion is advised, I guess. Look, if you ain't hit the like and the hype, you need to do that right now. Let's jump in.
Ready? Because it all starts in May in Miami, of course. And joining us now is the boss himself, Rick Ross. Welcome back to TMZ Live. What's going on, Rick?
You already know. We celebrating. I've invited everyone that's supposed to be there. They've been invited. That's here.
Rick, I gotta ask you, I'm guessing 50 Cent is not on the guest list after...
I'm sure he wouldn't be comfortable in my...
So, have you heard any more fallout from... We all saw how you sort of, on social media, jumped into the middle of the T.I. 50 Cent feud when you said you wanted one of those T-shirts?
I saw the shirt, and I thought the shirt was dope, and I asked for a 3X. And he told me he got me, and then I saw him smoking on the Jack Pack. I asked for some of that too.
So for those who didn't see this, in the middle of that T.I. 50 Cent feud, T.I.'s son posted a T-shirt with a photo of 50 Cent's mother who has passed away, and Rick said, "Oh, let me get one of those."
That was his father.
Oh, champ, here we go. Listen, man, all I'm gonna say is Rick Ross and Fifth have had beef for going on, 14, 15 years now almost? They've been beefing for a while, gang. I ain't gonna lie. Probably 16 years at this point, man. You know, Rick Ross's affiliations with Diddy and etc. It's gonna get bad. The continuation of talking about 50's mom is gonna get bad. Now it appears that 50 is being ambushed on so many different ends right now, from T.I. over the verses and 50 not wanting to do the verses because he's not obligated to the Let's Rap About It podcast, because obviously, you know, Jim Jones was taking shots at Tony Yayo and took subliminal shots at the Diddy documentary produced by 50. In fact, note that all of the people that are coming for 50 are basically Diddy friends, alright? Diddy and friends, basically. Papoose, I don't know too much about Papoose being affiliated with Diddy. However, he is affiliated with Remy Ma, and he is affiliated with Clarissa Shields, and Clarissa Shields had a friendship with 50 Cent that she actually broke because she walked out to the ring with Rick Ross, knowing that that's 50's ops, and you know the whole shebang, right? Cool, but boy, this gets even worse, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue, because Rick Ross is continuing to take shots at Sabrina Jackson.
You what? I thought it was his uncle or his dad.
No.
Oh, you're stepping into dangerous territory here. No, we should not.
Am I?
No.
Anyway. Yeah.
No, I thought, no.
Nope.
Look like a linebacker.
So no, that's all died down.
Call the linebackers crazy now. TMZ, you're guilty, champ, because y'all know what y'all was doing with this. Y'all want these clicks. Y'all want y'all platforms to catch a bunch of traffic. Listen, TMZ is basically online paparazzi. Yes, they do outdoor paparazzi all the time, but they're known for being internet paparazzi because they'll do the same thing they'll do outside to catch a celebrity or story as they would inside on a computer on the World Wide Web to get a story, champ. Let's just be real. This is a tabloid platform, not necessarily a news platform. They heavily rely on clickbait and mega shocking stories. That's what they do. No matter what it is, this is what they do. This is what they've been doing for years, and they even have separate categories for their brand, right? So it's gonna get very nasty, bro. And Fifth ain't playing about his deceased mom, and you don't know what other family members Sabrina Jackson has outside of 50, or what 50's friends might do. I say this often, this drill rap culture has very much influenced the internet in a different way to where they're desensitized enough to just outwardly disrespect someone's deceased relative. Now, a lot of people will say, hey, but 50's a bully, he's a troll. That's a narrative. 50 is not a bully, and 50 really ain't a troll. 50's only responding to his ops or people who do him dirty. It's never 50 started with someone, it's someone started with 50. Someone tried to play with 50. One of his ops mentioned his name or said something, and now they're being dealt with. I mean, a lot of people who despise 50 don't have enemies and can't relate to having enemies. When you have actual enemies or ops, you'll do everything in your power to make them miserable, champ. I ain't gonna lie. Remember when 50 brought out that Ja Rule concert on purpose to make it seem like Ja Rule sold out his show and nobody showed up because Fifth bought all the tickets? Remember that, champ? Yeah, champ. That's just the 48 laws of power, I guess, in the most pettiest fashion, all right? We see Cameron do similar things and has done similar things as well, just to give an example. But nobody really hates Cameron that much. And I guess it's because he doesn't have affiliations to a hated person. But y'all make sure y'all hit the like and the hype button if you have not. Let's keep this thing going, gang.
Right? There's,
until now. Honestly, from Rose, that was never a feud. The T.I.
You just thought it was just a fun thing.
Yeah, I mean, you got to realize, if they may have bumped into each other, somebody may have got dropped on their dome, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the feud, for it to really be a feud, it has to have a few things involved in. To me, it was just T.I. put out some dope music, T.I. Two Sons put out some dope music, and that's what it was about. Yeah.
Okay. And 50 Cent put out, a song too, so everybody's making music.
Nah, that wasn't music.
Oh.
I told you about musical acumen. There's difference.
Okay. Well, like you said, 50 Cent will not be there, but everyone else should be. Get your tux on, get your gown together. The tour kicks off.
Yo.
Salute to Urban Politicians TV, man. Yo, listen. This is gonna get ugly, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna get bad. Listen, I'm gonna keep saying it. Drill music might have tarnished the internet in a terrible way, bro. I'm just gonna be honest about the situation, bro. Drill music may have just completely made the internet think it's okay to just violate people's deceased moms. Like I said, y'all gonna say, but what about when he posted Tiny? Well, what about when you posted Tiny, champ? Because everyone posted Tiny. The difference between 50 posting Tiny and you posting Tiny is that 50 never had a caption or words to say about Tiny when he posted her. He never said anything about Tiny. But people keep saying that he said something about Tiny. This is why the 50 Cent hate is so forced. It's forced hate. You're trying to force people to hate 50 Cent because you already do not like him. There's a lot of people who thinks that he sided with Drake in the Kendrick beef and they automatically just hate 50 all of a sudden because it seems like he sided with Drake, which is very weird to me, in my personal opinion. Maybe there's some type of political affiliations that he has, even though he's not really into politics or speaks on it that much, that people also hate him for. But to be honest, why are you so heavily invested on someone who is not doing any harm to you at all? I don't get it, man. He's not doing any harm to you. He didn't harm Kendrick. And who told y'all that Kenny and Fifth got smoked? Who told y'all that? No, who's saying these things? You know what I'm saying? When Kenny was signed to the same person that 50 was signed to. How do you know Fifth ain't give Kenny any game? You know, it's nasty to make up these narratives in your head. It's actually a very ill of you to do. Like, it's giving like low-key some type of illness, I want to say, because why make things up in your head and put it out as truth when you don't have any proof that it's true? It's nasty work. And to be so heavily invested in someone who's not doing you any type of harm whatsoever is weird. Now, a lot of y'all are going to say that 50 is destroying hip-hop, which is also weird. What about the people who actually destroyed hip-hop, like Ebro? Someone who stopped a lot of New York talent from getting heard on the radio because he thought he was above the program and tried to politic, certain records to be played while he was at Hot 97. We don't talk about these so-called gatekeeping weirdos who came in the culture trying to act like they was holier than thou, or they had some type of hip-hop hierarchy where they controlled the narrative in hip-hop. They just don't. You don't know what hip-hop is. Hip-hop is not backpacks. Hip-hop is not Shea moisturizer and goddamn oak leaves and sea moss pudding, champ. That's not hip-hop. Maybe there's a type of hip-hop called herb hop or nerdcore, whatever you theater kids think is rap, because you don't come from hip-hop. You're a theater kid. You never lived a hip-hop lifestyle. Maybe you theater kids need to get it together, man, because a lot of y'all got problems. I'm gonna call y'all theater kids. Salute to the homie What's the Dirt, man. I'm gonna call y'all theater kids, man. Yeah, man, you was Romeo and you was the tree in a Romeo and Juliet play. Now all of a sudden you're a so-called hip-hop purist. Sure you are, champ. Yeah, you a hip-hop purist, alright? You've never been in a fight. You've never been in the hood. You're not from the hood. And that's okay. You don't have to be from the hood, man. But just know that you don't come from a hip-hop background. And you don't gatekeep anything because you're not a gatekeeper. You don't know what you think it is that you know or have those connections to where you have a say-so in the hip-hop community. Yeah, just because you're black doesn't mean you're in the hip-hop community, by the way. Let's be very clear here. People who are really in the hip-hop community live a hip-hop lifestyle, have done hip-hop things. The man has performed rap, has a lot of songs, been rapping for nearly 20 years now. Next year, make 20 years I've been rapping. Facts. And I don't even rap like that no more. Just occasionally. I could still rap. But I say that to say that, listen, man, a lot of y'all talking that talk ain't even from the culture. You don't even know nothing about 50 Cent. You wasn't even around when 50 Cent was around, but all of a sudden, you have the most knowledge of hip-hop and understand hip-hop, but you don't know anything about these artists at all. How do you call yourself a quote-unquote hip-hop purist or really hip-hop and understanding hip-hop and you don't even know the people that you're speaking on? I mean, pretending that you're a fan of T.I., Papoose, Mano, or whoever makes you a weirdo, because you're not going to listen to these guys after they make a diss track. You're just happy someone's coming at Fifth. You are in love and infatuated with the fantasy of someone taking down Fifth's entire empire and legacy. That's what's going on here. People are infatuated and in love with the idea or fantasy that Fifth can crumble. But truth be told, Fifth can never crumble. Fifth is one of the most known hip-hop artists in world history. When it comes to hip-hop, one of the first names people think of is 50 Cent, as a matter of fact. Has been relevant for a long time, champ. A long time. And continues to be relevant. He calls himself the algorithm because right now the algorithm is very much focused on 50. If 50's name doesn't come up, none of these things exist. We don't hear about T.I. We don't hear about King Harris. We don't hear about Domani. We don't hear about Papoose. We don't hear about these people. These people are irrelevant without 50 even being named. It's just a fact. Y'all don't like it? I really don't care. I tell the real, that's what I do. I'm not invested in this like you think I am. Some people are calling me an agent of 50 Cent, which is weird. How can I be an agent of 50 Cent? It just shows me you don't go outside. It just shows me you ain't touching no type of grass at all. At all. What's going on with you, champ? Are you okay? You gotta be really psychotic to think that I'm an agent of Fifth or being paid by G Unit. Prove it. You can't prove these things. These are just weird narratives in your head that you start to believe in. We call that overthinking. We call that being weird, champ. You might need to seek help. Not gonna lie. Because everything that I spew is my own opinion from how I feel, because I can do that as a creator, as a podcaster slash react. I'm a hybrid reactor slash podcaster and news breaking channel. That's just what I do. If you don't like it, hey, I don't know why you're tuning in, but you're still tuning in. Well, you might have an addiction to something of a lower nature. You take that how you want to take it. But gang, this is getting very awful. And to talk about 50's deceased moms, like, and make merch out of it, and make smoke out of it, is only going to lead to something very sinister in the long run. I'm just saying. But gang, how do you feel about all this in the comment section? What do you think is next, man? Is Rick Ross gonna get dealt with? Who's next to ambush 50 Cent? And where does this go? Because it doesn't seem to be going in a good place. I'm just saying, things are not looking good, gang. I need to know how y'all feel in the comment section, though, man. If you're new to the Mayor's channel, make sure you subscribe right now. Turn your notification bell on to get all of the Mayor's updates. Also, hit the like button because it's incredibly important, as well as hitting the hype button, which is most essential to the channel's growth. Make sure you do all that right now. And one more thing before we get all the way out of here. Are you ready, gang? It's the Mayor, the one and only New York Mayor F. Mom Donnie, and you're rocking with the town favorite Showface News. It's Big Gotham, and you already know it's the town versus everybody at all times. I'm up out of here, gang.